When you're thinking about vocabulary as a classroom teacher, you're thinking about helping your children understand the words that are in the selections that you are teaching. But when you have ELL students in your classroom, it's a much more complicated thing to do when you're trying to teach vocabulary and help them understand vocabulary that is in the selection that you have. For one thing, ELL students do not always have the basic vocabulary that we assume children have when they come to school. And in their reading, they can encounter words that are very well known to you as a teacher or even the other students in the classroom, and it will completely stop them in their ability to understand what they're reading. For instance, a word like box or a word like crate in a math problem, a crate of oranges. If the problem had used a box of oranges, perhaps the student could have understood it, but a crate would be a word that they would not know. Or even ordinary items of the household, such as in the kitchen, things like spoon or plate or pan, stove, oven, are words that they would not ordinarily know. So just to understand that do not assume that an ESL student will have vocabulary that your other children do in the classroom, because they're not taught at home, and when they go home their parents are not using those words with them. When they're in the kitchen preparing dinner, they're not using the English words, they're using the words that their family uses in Spanish or in Moldovan or in Marshallese, whatever language that student would be speaking. And I think that is something that's critical for classroom teachers to remember. That not only will you be teaching the academic vocabulary, you're also going to be teaching basic categories of vocabulary that these children do not necessarily know.